All right, here we go again. Madness of the White House. So, the Inspector General of the intelligence community says there is a whistleblower complaint from someone in national intelligence who said someone at the White House uh, did something of, quote, urgent concern to national security and intelligence. So, this is already a huge issue and a huge problem. In fact, legally, this is so important that it must go to Congress within 7 days. Okay, now here we go. The next thing that happens is the director of national intelligence, he's the acting director because people are constantly getting fired or leaving the Trump administration. That also happened with Dan Coates, who left recently from that position because of his frustration with Trump. So this is like The Apprentice. We're all playing out, but with really important matters. So now you have everybody's an acting something, right? So this is the acting director of national intelligence, a lackey put in there by Trump. He didn't like that Dan Coates, who is massively right wing, was giving him real information and actually giving him real intelligence. He wanted him to give the intelligence that he wanted to hear, right? So anyway, he's got his new lackey, and the lackey says, "No, I'm not going to give it to Congress." What do you mean you're not going to give it to Congress? So the inspector general is set to go to Congress tomorrow. Now we find out new things. So, who is the person at the White House that created this matter of urgent concern for national security? Of course, it was Donald Trump. Of course, it was. Okay, it was the president himself. The call's coming from inside the house, the White House. Okay, so now here's another twist we find out today, right now, at the Washington Post. Turns out that the problem was the president made, quote, a promise to a foreign leader that was of such, again, urgent concern regarding national security and intelligence that it had to be brought to Congress immediately. Wow. Okay, so who was the foreign leader? Well, we don't know that yet, but we do know the 5 foreign leaders he met with in that time period. Okay, you guys ready? Least likely, Prime Minister of Netherlands. Okay, put good money that it's not that person. That's a matter of urgent concern, or that Donald Trump made the promise to. By the way, we don't know what the promise is either. Can't wait. Okay, could be disastrous. And I'll give you context for how Trump has done this in the past, et cetera, in a second. But let me give you the other countries. All right. The 4th least problematic is the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Okay. The 3rd least problematic is the Emir of Qatar. Uh-oh. Who are the last two? 2nd least problematic is Kim Jong-un. So, who is the guy he might have made the promise to that he talked to within that time period? That I rank at number 1 most problematic, even more than Kim Jong-un? Of course, Vladimir Putin. So hold. We don't know which of the 5 he made the promise to, and we don't know what the promise is yet. But the whistleblower inside of national intelligence says urgent concern for the country. Now, what is urgent concern? It could mean our sources inside the other government their lives are in imminent danger. It could mean that we are giving away classified information that puts the country at risk. So now, if you're a MAGA guy, this is when you yell, "Oh well, the president could declassify anything they want." Okay, you think that if just play the usual game here, take out Trump, put in Obama. If Obama talked to one of these dictators or foreign leaders and said, "Oh yeah, I'll make you a promise. Yeah, well here, the American government will do this for you, and here I'll give you classified information, or I'll reveal our sources, or our guys on the ground in your country." What would you do? You lose your mind. We know it. He's a traitor. He's a traitor. Right. So now, anyway, and has Trump done this in the past? Well, apparently not to this level, but he did tell the Russians inside the White House about some of our sources inside Syria back in 2017, and that caused a huge problem. But Trump is so notorious for giving away our secrets that if you remember that ICE raid that they did down in Mississippi, ICE wouldn't even tell Trump, who obviously is a their top ally and the president of the United States, because they're like, well, he'll tweet about it and he'll give it away and we'll ruin the element of surprise. So people inside the government know, don't tell the orange idiot, he'll blab about it immediately. And in this case, I don't know what he said to the foreign leader, but it obviously made the whistleblower say, Congress has got to know about this. This is top level problem for our intelligence community and for national security. So that Inspector General is going to talk to Congress tomorrow. Maybe we'll find out more. But by the way, the Director of National Intelligence is supposed to share this with Congress, but they're so lawless, they're so brazen, they won't even, and it'll be in closed door session, so it's not for the public to find out what it is. So let's see if we do find out what it is. Let's see if the Director of National Intelligence cares about the law in America at all, and whether he's going to actually share it with Congress. And who did Trump make the promise to? And God, what was the promise? Oh boy. So amazing story. We'll find out more. But what's the last part of this that's amazing is how unamazing it is. Is anyone really that surprised that Trump made a promise to one of those, one of those leaders? Some of them are perfectly fine people, and some of them are dictators, some of the worst dictators in the world, and some of our top enemies, that he made a promise that created a national urgent concern for national security. At this point, what's so sad and depressing is that that's not remotely surprising, but it is deeply problematic. So let's get to the bottom of it, I hope.